There's not much you could do without power.
And tens of thousands of people doing just that in the foothills and the Sierra without power right now. They've been in the dark for days already, and it is cold where they are for many. They're now hearing it will be more than a week before crews can even get to them to try to get the lights back on.
A lot of people have called our newsroom. We have heard from people from everywhere from Camino to Georgetown, Forest Hill, Somerset, Placerville, and Pollock Pines. Some viewers have sent us the notices from PG&E telling them they won't even see utility crews until January 10th. And late tonight, Placer County declared a local state of emergency as tens of thousands of people are still dealing with a lot of damage and those power outages from this latest storm.
Yeah, the proclamation requests state and federal assistance. Now, all those state and federal disasters have not yet been declared there. We have live team coverage of the power situation and the snow from communities along both Highway 50 and Interstate 80. Starting right now with Melanie Wingo live in Auburn for us. Melanie.
Yeah, we're overlooking Interstate 80 right now where it is foggy, and just up the interstate from where we are tonight is the community of Forest Hill. And as you mentioned, Edie and Gulston, we heard from so many people in Forest Hill about what they're dealing with in the aftermath of that December 26th storm. And what they're telling us is basically their community in the Sierra foothills isn't used to getting so much snow in such a short amount of time. And so now they're trying to deal with all the damage that's left behind. The Sierra foothills community of Forest Hill hurting following the day after Christmas storm.
The destruction here is just is mind-boggling.
Ruth Behrens lived through 2 decades worth of winters.
This is the most destructive storm that I have seen in those 20 years.
Her own block, just one of several in town, feeling the weight of heavy snowfall.
I haven't been out past my own yard, but if my yard and my neighbor's yard and this view right here is any indication, it's pretty devastating.
Casey Peoples can't remember a storm this bad in recent years either.
Just kind of swooped in. I've been here since I was a little kid, just down the street. I think 86, we had like 3 feet of snow right where we're at. But it was lighter.
The problem he and others in this community say is trees that were poised to fall.
You know, it's been a long time and the trees have grown and they've gotten bigger.
And weather patterns over the past several years, they say, further compromised the giants when a lot of snow came down all at once.
We've had these drought years and now these huge saturations, and it was just really wet, heavy, and fast, and specifically the oak trees just couldn't handle it.
The talk of the town is the trees.
I guess trees are falling everywhere. We got at least 10, 15 trees in our yard. All the oaks are breaking.
The trees weighted down by snow and down on nearly every street, taking down power lines with them.
We got a notification from PG&E saying like 7 to 10 business days, just depending on how fast they can get to all the trees. There's a lot of trees down.
And Casey Peoples, who we heard from in our story, also happens to be the president of the Forest Hill Union School District School Board. And what he told us is they're now also trying to figure out what to do when school is supposed to be back in session after the winter break next week. They don't even think they're going to have power back on by that time. So they're trying to get all their ducks in a row and figure out how to get back to school without power. They're also hearing that some of the people who are employees of the school district, some of the workers in the district are without homes because of those trees that have fallen onto their homes. So a lot to figure out in this very challenging time. Reporting live in Auburn, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
Yeah, there really are so many impacts here. Melanie, thank you.
Well, for folks in Placer County, the Forest Hill Veterans Memorial Hall is now open as a charging station. People can go in there and charge their phones and their medical devices. Now, the hall is about to close. It's only open until 7 tonight. It will open again tomorrow at 9 in the morning and stay open until 7. The Auburn Library and the Colfax Veterans Memorial Hall are also available for the public to come in and use. They will also be open today and tomorrow.
We go now to El Dorado County, where it's a similar story. Thousands of people also without power there. KCRA 3's Lizzie Mitri continues our team coverage from Camino. So, Lizzie, what are you hearing from people?
Well, Edie, still no power at homes and businesses in the area. We're outside Apple Barrel Pizza. It's been closed because of the power outage. And you can see how much snow they got here. That staircase behind me just buried in all that snow. Nearby is a gas station that is open, though, and that has been very busy throughout the day today. While the main roads are clear, people living here in Camino first have to be able to dig their cars out of all the snow in their driveway to get to those roads. We saw Kurt Dollar walking on Carson Road near the post office.
They're pretty snowed in back there, so it's a walk of shame.
He says he's helping his girlfriend's grandma picking up some gas.
1 gallon?
To power the generator at the house.
Come prepared if you're coming up here. It's cold, it's wet.
Nearby, a man working in the Camino Food Center who didn't want to go on camera was dressed for the outdoors inside the convenience store, wearing a winter jacket, something the Perez family can relate to.
We have a lot of blankets and a lot of sweaters. And we have like fuzzy socks and like a lot of boots and stuff.
Trying to stay warm since the power went out on Sunday.
We sleep in the living room where we have a fireplace. But like sometimes it's like really cold at night.
They're hoping to have electricity again soon, but PG&E does not have an estimated time for restoration listed on its website for this community. So people getting gas to power their generators
I haven't filled them up yet, obviously.
are expecting they're going to have to make several more trips before this is over.
Thank you.
At last check, PG&E's website showed more than 19,000 customers here in El Dorado County still don't have power tonight. PG&E says it is doing everything it can to change that, but it's still facing challenges with the weather here. Live in Camino, Lizzie Mitri, KCRA 3 News.
Lizzie, thank you.
Well, we want to give you a closer look right now at who still doesn't have power on right now. What you'll notice across the board here, there's been some progress, but not a lot. 20,700 customers are in the dark in Nevada County. That is just 3,500 fewer than what was there yesterday.
In Amador County, 7,100 people are in the dark right now, only a decrease of about 600 from yesterday. And now to Calaveras County. At last check, about 6,600 customers are without power. That's down from 8,700 yesterday, so there is some progress there for about 2,100 customers.
And we check in now with Tuolumne County, more than 5,500 people there without power. That is only 257 fewer customers than 24 hours ago. We did reach out to PG&E about these efforts to get the power back on.
We know you have questions, and they sent us a statement saying PG&E is doing everything we can to get the power back on for customers, but the weather has and continues to present a challenge, along with access issues due to snow, down trees, and other hazards. As I've said before, this is an all hands on deck response for us. Now, we did specifically ask about that January 10th date and why it will take that long for them to reach some customers, but so far they have not responded specifically to that.
Well, for others, it's tempting to head up to the mountains right now to enjoy and see all the snow, but towns, cities, Caltrans, CHP are all asking and pleading with people just to stay home right now.
So let's show you I-80 earlier today. This video is from the Placer Sheriff right at about Heather Glen. You can see it's just bumper to bumper there, and the backups are not just a headache for drivers. This can be a big problem for emergency responders. They can't do their job and they can't get where they need to go with all of the cars and trucks choking the roadways. Let's show you the conditions right now on Interstate 80. This is right at Donner Summit, and yeah, you can see snow on the roadway there, even though the roadway is open. That is some tricky driving, and it's bumper to bumper there over the summit. So very slow for drivers who are heading over right now, heading east.
Let's check on some other conditions right now, other major thoroughfares in the Sierra. Here's what it looks like in Placerville and also Myers just minutes ago. I'm struck by that traffic circle in Myers. That thing was just chock full of stuck cars not going anywhere yesterday. So there is some movement, but it looks like some people are following the pleas out there to stay off the roadways right now.
Yeah, I think the governor of Nevada helped as well, keeping some of that traffic out of South Lake Tahoe. Andrea Flores has the message right now for travelers.
Those roads are open, but they're moving very slowly.
For those that don't live in South Lake Tahoe, really discourage travel that's non-essential today.
A common message by Caltrans and the city of South Lake Tahoe.
Our recommendation, our strong, very strong recommendation to people out there is don't head up into the Sierras, into the Tahoe region if you don't have to make that trip. Only essential travel.
Caltrans Director Tokes Omashakin says his crews have been working around the clock trying to keep Interstate 80 and Highway 50 open after the recent series of storms.
We are stretched. Our teams are working 24/7 on 12-hour shifts to make sure that we can keep the conditions out there safe. Last night, yesterday in particular, was very difficult because certain parts of 80 and 50 were both closed. But due to their tremendous, incredible work, we were able to get both 50 and 80 back open.
Even with it open, the conditions are still not good for travel.
If you're moving essential goods like fuel or medical supplies, it's okay to continue to make that trip. But if it's just to hang out and have fun, I would say delay that trip.
I recognize that people have reservations. There's a holiday weekend coming up.
The city of South Lake Tahoe is also urging essential travel only.
Feeling very confident that resources such as gas and groceries are going to be here to supply the needs of our local residents. You know, for the visitors, with the roadways restricted because of the large amounts of snow, please just respect parking rules. Snowplow equipment needs to get around and streets are narrow.
We've had a very tough year when it comes to weather, from fires to heavy rainfall, but also the same things happening to us right now as it relates to the snow.
This will definitely be one that people look back on a few decades from now and say, that was a big deal.
Andrea Flores, KCRA 3 News.
We've seen the snow tapering off. We're still talking about the weather that has passed and also the weather that is still to come. Let's check in with Mark and talk more about that, Mark.
Well, you know, if you talk about the crews that are working in the Sierra, Caltrans, PG&E, trying to get things going again, things are going to be getting better. We're going to see the snow decrease. We're going to see the rain decrease. Might even see the sun in the next couple of days. But right now, hanging on to some fog and drizzle and mist and light showers. It's a cool, damp evening in the valley. Doppler picking up some rain, but also not necessarily picking up all the drizzle and mist that is out there as well. Good example of some of what's happening is in Sacramento County around the Elk Grove area. Again, just kind of damp. And you see the same thing in Lodi into the east through Farmington and in towards San Andreas. And again, Doppler probably not even showing all the drizzle and mist that's out there. Just going to stay damp as this gradually diminishes during the evening hours. And you can see the snow. It's just some scattered snow showers, and the snow level has come up. It was around 1,500 this morning. Now it's closer to 3,000. But the snow you're seeing isn't really accumulating, and even this will be winding down. So for those that need to work in the Sierra, and for those of you that live in those areas without power right now, you are going to see the weather improve over the next couple of days. So maybe it will be better for those trying to get the lights back on. Back to you.